Yeah, so I'm now viewed as Drunken Exeter Man. That's nice. I'm actually John Bosley, former soldier, although albeit 4 years. I'm no hero. I have no medals. I've got a 25-metre swimming certificate and a cycling proficiency badge. So the police, those truth tellers, those never lying, never exacerbating charges, because if you get done for drunk and disorderly, it'll be there were a bunch of nuns passing at the time and he was swearing. There was a bunch of disabled children on a day out in this locality and they all heard it. There were people being pushed past in hospital beds. It nearly caused a plane flying overhead to crash because the police are not particularly competent, as if they ever were, at protecting people, ordinary people. What they do is they justify their existence. They know this, and one charge becomes 5, and the guy loses his shit because dealing with the apparent authorities, the great and good, is like sticking your head in a meat mincer. As it was for my good friend, well, not my good friend, a friend who was tenacious in his opposition to these self-serving mandarins. You know you are. And as for the police, what outcome do you want? What outcome do you want? It certainly isn't peace and harmony in the community I live in, because you don't attend and people phone, especially if they get attacked by people with a hammer and a knife. It's a bit of a big task for you, isn't it? How many police officers would you have to dispatch for 2 men with a hammer and a knife? Considering I had, what did I have? Oh yeah, I prepared with a sharpened pole. So my army training did me the world of good. I was a combat engineer, by the way. Combat engineers don't deal in sharpened poles. And if they do deal in sharpened poles, even a crap-out Royal Engineer wouldn't run away. Why would I prepare to attack the police? The police turn up. Not as I expected, but like the 7th Cavalry on testosterone and on steroids. And I attacked them by dropping the pole and running away to the back of my garden. Funny enough, the back of my garden, which is God knows how far from the back of my garden, from any other dwellings. And yet when I was surrounded by like a safari animal by these very, very, very brave policemen, and if any of you do ever see this and you have an issue with me calling you or being ironic about your bravery, again, you know where I live, or you've been to my house enough times. You come to my house whenever you get the opportunity in your dark uniforms to frighten the bejesus out of my dog, knowing how much my dog means to me and how she reacts when the police arrive, because she's seen the police conduct themselves in the way that they do when there's no cameras about, or not their cameras anyway, or so they think. Thank you, authorities, for playing to type, for playing your role perfectly. Well done. And you just keep giving. And DEVONLIE is a little rag, a little mouthpiece for the nefarious council, who are utterly, completely and totally corrupt. Want proof? Get in touch. I can prove it hands down. Am I an idiot? Am I a dickhead? Yep, absolutely. Am I a waste of breath? Yep. But I'm also a council tax paying resident who expected to be dutifully, like other residents affected by this, given even a semblance of consideration and some protection from the negative aspects of the facility that they imposed on a largely elderly community without any provision for any downsides. Didn't you? And the police conduct themselves like a big gang of schoolboys who've got some equipment and want to go and beat people up and subjugate them and overwhelm them. You're a joke, and you know it. And again, you're not all bad. You're not all bad. You're caught in the same world of shit that we are. We're all being had. All of us. Well, I'm not done yet. I'm not dead. You've still got work to do that. Why don't you just cut to the chase and get somebody, pay somebody to come to my house and string me up at the back of my garden? Suicide would be the most believable thing, wouldn't it? Except that I've let my associates know that I have absolutely no intention of taking my own life. Absolutely none. I am miserable with my life because I live in Exeter. A putridly corrupt council runs that place. A place that is populated by both incomers and, you know, people from overseas, immigrants. It's quite a happy, a decent little city. Run by morons and self-serving deviants. A bit like the national government, really, whichever colour they are. Labour took us to an illegal war. The Conservatives just destroy every facet of our communities and society to suit their, well, agenda. Pocket. Money. Money's king. Money's king, not Charles. He's another puppet. What have the royal family ever done for you? Except motivate you to buy a little plastic bag and stand beside some street in London and wave it while a ornate carriage drawn by horses goes past. There's an example of intelligence. No disrespect, but if that's your bag, grow up. You need to grow up quickly. I had to. Yeah, if anybody wants to deride me as an arsehole, an idiot, none of you would have continued this fight like I have. And it still goes on, and it will. If you want to end this, kill me. Okay, you've got Devon and Cornwall Police. They're adept at doing that. I haven't done it for about 12, 14 years, I think, when that guy was wrapped up in a body harness thing. They just wrapped it around his face and he died. It wasn't their fault. Much love to you from the Drunken Exeter Man. God's love.